Let's talk tech talk.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Tech for Tech Tech Talk. This is a live show where we try and help your IT business grow. My name is Phil Griffiths. This is,
I'm Jenny, and I am the boss.
in more ways than one, shall
You
we
got
say.
it.
Right, today's episode is episode 143, and it is called Origin Keeping Distribution Simple. So,
It's hot in here.
it's hot in here. I'm going to say she's stripping already, and we've only just started the
Yeah.
show. So it's going to be an interesting one.
Can't take me anywhere.
There we go. Right, first of all, if you can hear and see us, let us know. Unfortunately, the way Facebook works at the moment, because of the group issue, shall we say, with Facebook, we can't see your comments if you're on Facebook. So if you do want to post them, Jen's going to monitor them separately, or you can post them on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and all those other places we're live. So if you've got any coming, Jen, if you want
William at Build It says he can hear all the way down in at Isle of Man, so that's good to know.
Okay.
So hello there, William. How you doing tonight?
That's
Dan is hearing us loud and clear, and he says, "Good to see you, Hitz."
Okay,
So,
there we go. And
Good to see you too, Dan. Good to see you.
Yeah, Dan's a good guy, but Hitz is a good guy as well. And we can't say anything wrong about
I'm
that.
surrounded by a lot of good guys.
Well, there you go.
I love my job.
Okay, if you say so. Right, okay. Let's get on with this then. So, first of all, before we go on to the news and go fully into it, we'll just get Stuart and Hitz to introduce themselves, let everyone know, obviously, who they are, what they do, and so forth. So, Stuart, who are you? What do you do? And just give us a brief intro to Origin.
Thanks, Phil. Yeah, Stuart, the MD of UK Origin. We do a range of, as you can see on the thing behind me, storage, memory, secure accessories, services. The ever growing list of product availability from us. And as I manage the UK business and the 35 of us that work here.
Okay, thank you very much. And let's move on to Hitz then. So some of you may know him from previous roles at previous places, but if not, Hitz, it's your turn to introduce yourself. Let everyone know who you are.
Hi, Phil and Jenny. Thank you for having us here on today's show. My name is Hitz. I'm a gaming development director here at Origin. For those of you that know me, it's great to see everybody back in the channel now, and looking forward to the show and also Tech Max 24.
Nice one. Thank you very much for that, Hitz. Right, Jen, off to you now. Anything else in chat?
The guys at Blue Bolt PC are saying hello tonight. Hello there. That's Katie and Ian and Jake Hodge. So, everyone. Right, let's move on to the news, should we say.
Right, okay.
I have new influencers that have signed up to TechMax. And you're thinking, really? With all the ones you've got coming already? Yes, really. I've got more. So I've got Minibot PC, I've got Gamers Guide, and I've got Anus Tech. So those are my three new influencers, and I have a new exhibitor as of this week, and that is Terra Computer. Terra were there last year, as you know, and I think they were at the first Tech Max, weren't they?
Good question. I can't remember. It's been that long now.
I can't remember. It's been a long time ago, but I want to say they were.
That's it. So you can see the list of influencers there. A lot of you are probably going, "Oh, I'm not too bothered about influencers or creators or whatever." But the catch is these guys promote, obviously, the brands, the vendors, and sometimes independent stores and stuff, obviously, like we do. So they are actually quite a big thing. Places like Kit Guru, we've got... I'm not even sure how many followers they've got, probably millions, but they're usually up there on the content on the likes of YouTube and obviously on their website as well.
When we had the store, we were published by Kit Guru. We had a build in the store that was on Kit Guru, you remember?
Was it the
ATAT
first,
and then on another influencer's channel that fails me right now, I think they're long gone, we had another build as well. So they can get you promotion out there and everything. You just got to know who to talk to.
Yeah, definitely. So they're good, and even give you ideas for your own store.
Yeah.
Even so, there's a few influencers on there. I think it's the Eye Doctor. I think he's called. He does a lot of stuff, and he gets some customers coming in stores. He films everything he does, all the repairs, and obviously it's content, and it don't cost you anything to do other than a camera and
Yeah.
a little bit of time to publish online, and away you go. So basically, if you can see on the screen, these are all the exhibitors what have signed up. We've still got a few more to announce yet, including a main sponsor, but it gives you a rough idea what you're going to be looking at the show. There we go. So we're just waiting a logo for a casa there and some text, but there is others still yet to be listed on there.
And I'd like to remind everybody our charity for the event is Gamers Beat Cancer. So, guys, if you come prepared, dig a little deep, it goes for a good cause. So
that's it, and he's working on some interesting stuff for his stand as well there. So definitely a good charity to go. And if you do want a rough idea of all the different vendors what are attending, this is from last year.
Yep. Which
this
was
is
good.
from this year, and we've still got a good chunk to add on. So it gives you an idea how many more. You'll see a couple of blank spots there because they're where the missing people, shall we say, will be going once they've finalised everything.
And distributors, vendors, if you haven't sent in your RSVP, you need to get that sorted ASAP because I had to send in numbers today, and I can squeeze you in if you send it to me by end of play Monday. So, and that doesn't go to the average Joe. That if you didn't get an RSVP, you're not supposed to get one. Bottom line.
Yeah, so it's basically people understands what you're talking to. So we've got a couple of comments coming, Jen, if you want to check those.
Yeah. So, evening, Mark Dennis at Rayleigh. Is it Rayleigh? Yeah.
Yeah, Rayleigh Computer Store.
Yeah, and also Dean Wood. Good evening, Dean. How are you up there at Smart Computers?
There we go. So obviously, guys, if you have got any questions for Origin, you want to know who the hell they are, you've never heard of them before, feel free to ask the question. That's what they're here for. If you want to know where Hitz has been on his summer holidays, feel free to ask. He's bound to answer. He might take him half an hour to get through and tell you, but he will actually let you know. Right, okay.
We got Richard Creedy saying evening, everyone. So
that's good. Hi, Richard. So right, let's get basically onto this then. So Stuart, we'll let you start off then, because obviously we'll be here all day with Hitz. So if you want to introduce Origin, tell us why. Obviously, we're calling the show why we're calling it. Why are we calling it Keeping Distribution Simple? Why is it so simple? Tell us all about the brands you work with, and well, it's up to you.
Yeah, not at all. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate being here as well. Obviously, Hitz managed to pick that bit up. I forgot to say that at the start, but only our second show, so I'm sure I'll get into the swing of things sooner rather than later. As you said there, who is Origin? I think is a good place to start, and without going on too long about where we've come from, I think it's good for everyone watching to get an understanding of who we are as a business and where we've come from. So we started out in 2001. I was in a team of just 4, joined as a junior sales guy back then, and worked my way up into the sales team. We started off dealing with Dell Computer was one of our biggest customers at the time, and we're now proud to say we're one of their approved vendors and have been since I think 2006. Was an approved status, and now across 14 countries. So started off life doing a small range of products into those guys. We then grew the catalogue, grew the range, started selling into some of the UK resellers into the VAR space, and just continued to grow the range as and when demand came in, really. As I said on the last show, we've been VAR focused, reseller focused in the B2B space for 23 years now. Never dealt with the retail side, the consumer side, any gaming products, and what have you. So, getting involved with you guys is paramount, I think, to that success, and why Hitz pushed us to do the show and engage with yourselves. In terms of the products themselves, we're kind of a split between a manufacturer and a distributor. So we have a huge range of Origin branded products, as you can see up on the wall behind me. You've got storage, memory, all branded with Origin. We have docking stations, we have privacy screens, AC adapters, transceivers for SFPs, for switches, a huge range of Origin branded product. And then we also have the distribution, the out and out distribution piece, which is taking in brands, a bit like the gaming products that we've got. We've got various other brands as well with batteries and adapters for laptops. We have QNAP, we have iStorage, we have Data Locker, as you can see on the row beneath me, Urban Factory. All those guys, we bring their product in, we distribute them and deal with the UK reseller market, and now are coming into this channel. So as I say, been around 23 years. We are heavily focused on customer service. That's what's been at our core since we started. We really believe in sorting the customer out, making sure the customer is happy, is correct. If there's a problem, we get it sorted out. We don't leave customers hanging. And that is why, getting back to your original question, Phil, why is the name of the show Keeping Distribution Simple? We don't understand why it doesn't have to be. You know, we have the product in stock. We have quick credit facilities. We set customers up quickly. We quote them quickly. We get back to people. Our average quoting customers at the moment is less than about 5 minutes on a standard quote request. You know, if you're looking for a quite complicated configuration of a NAS solution or a SAN solution, for example, then that's not going to be back in 5 minutes. But I would say 95% plus of the opportunities we get asked for, we quote within that 5 minute window. Just because it reflects really good on us, it reflects really good on our resellers and their end users, and that gives them the confidence to buy more and more from them. So yeah, we keep things as simple as we can do in Origin. We don't have too much red tape. There's, as I mentioned at the start, there's 34, 35 of us. We don't have huge corporate loopholes to jump through. We try and keep things as simple as we possibly can do. Everyone that deals with Origin has their own account manager. You don't get put into a part of a team. You've got one person as your point of contact. If they're out on the road visiting customers, I think we had this question pop up last time we were on the show around why people don't visit as much in distribution. We are definitely out on the forefront of that, because we're out visiting. The guys in here are out probably 60% of the month, 70% of the month, but we have people internally in the business that cover them. So when they are out and about, their customers are dealt with just as well as if they were here. You know, we don't want that service level to drop at any point, and that's the overriding message, I think, from all of us at Origin. Just noticed there's a comment from the guy at Blue Bolt Comms. Yeah, we have got NAS drives, absolutely. Whether you're looking at 3.5-inch spinning or looking at SSD for caching, read or write, then yeah, reach out to Hitz via either Skype him if you've got his details, or we have gaming@originstorage.com, where there's a team, including Hitz, that will respond to you straight away on that. But yeah, that's kind of who we are. Obviously exploded into the gaming piece towards the back end of last year when Hitz joined the business. We've also expanded that further and bought Rich, who couldn't be here tonight, sadly, but yeah, he's come on board to us as well. Formerly used to work at Target for 7 years, so he's got a lot of experience in the channel. We're looking at recruiting more brands on board. You know, we've only just started, and we've got some great brands already, and looking to grow, but not too quickly. You know, we want to make sure we bring the right products in, and we deal with them properly, and don't outgrow ourselves and cause problems for ourselves. But yeah, that is us in a nutshell, really. So if anyone's got any particular questions about the business, we're very transparent here, happy to share as much as we can do, apart from our cost price, obviously. Oh, I can't hear you.
It'd be anything but
1 second,
simple.
the mic was muted. So
Sorry.
again.
I like the answer. Why should it be anything but simple?
Yeah, people overcomplicate things, I think.
Yeah, they do.
Too.
They really do. I
Yeah.
have Peter Whitehouse saying hi all from Scan Station Computers. So hello,
Hi, Peter. How
How
you
you
doing?
doing?
Hi, Pete.
Do you
Good evening,
guys
Pete.
mind if I share your website on the screen? So just do a quick
Yeah, of
screen
course.
share.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Stick that on.
That'd be great to cover, actually.
There you go. Let me put everyone on the side so we can see it. Here we go. Right. Okay. So obviously this is the Origins storage website, which I'll put the QR code back on the screen in a few seconds. But it's pretty straightforward. You should be able to find them. Let's have a look. So you can see a lot of the vendors and the brands at the bottom. You've got obviously their own brand. Looks like your own brand RAM and everything like that. There we go. You've got all your security stuff, so encrypted hard drives, flash, security software as well. You got a lot of networking stuff on there as well. I'm not going to go into every single category. You've got accessories. So it looks like you've got quite a few different things, even EPOS systems, printers, webcams, and so forth. That's pretty good. And monitors. I didn't even know you did monitors, but there we go. So, and on to gaming. So you've got your SSDs, memories, graphics cards, power supplies, gaming monitors, cooling, and cases. So that's pretty good. So let's just have a look at cases, for example. So you can see here you've got quite a selection of thermal take cases. So I think you've got to cover pretty much everything on there.
And it's
thermal
not
take
your
does.
plain cases. That's my number one beef when I go to a distributor and I see every one of them, they all look alike, whether they're 14 pounds or 114 pounds each. They all look exactly alike and they're boring. That's something I absolutely hate and despise. It's nice to see that you've got a PC configurator on your website as well. That's always something that's handy when you go to put a build together. You don't want to have to sit down for an hour and research parts. So that's nice.
And,
Oh, I didn't
and
see
up,
that.
I
I was going to
did.
say up the top there, Phil. So for any of you guys that have customers coming into your shops or sending you requests in, if they've got a particular type of laptop or desktop computer, servers are covered as well. Right in that top bar there, there's search model or description, or sorry, system device. It says if you just put in there the model of laptop you've got, so say a Latitude 3520, just on the top of my head, Evening Russell from Lexar. Then it will find your exact system. If you click on, just pick any of them. Can't quite read it from here. That will find your exact system. It gives you a breakdown of the spec that you've got. Typically, obviously, there's different model numbers which might come with different configurations out of the factory. But effectively, you then got every option we can offer you, which is 100% guaranteed to fit that system. So whether it's adapters or batteries you need, whether it's privacy screens, then you've got onto your SSDs, RAM, and then optical drives. Probably external for a laptop, but for desktops you can still get those DVD burners and what have you. So if you've got older systems which you're trying to service, it just means you can find the right piece of RAM, right SSD for that system for a customer very
Awesome.
quickly. And then if you're logged in at the same time, you obviously can just click through, view the product, add the basket, and off you go. So yeah, it's very simple.
No, that sounds pretty good. I'm going to say you've got lots of different options on there, to be honest. I didn't know
Yeah.
about that, the model and system device search, so that's pretty handy.
That is
I've
nice.
always seen people post in the group, where can I get parts for
And
this,
now
that,
you
and
know.
the other. So, yeah, so we know where to point them now.
Yeah.
Right, let's turn that off for now then. But as you can see anyway, you can see they've got lots of different things. I think there was something like 49 different graphics cards on there.
Yeah.
You got everything all the way from bottom end all the way up to a 4090, I reckon there. So I know what I'm asking for my birthday hits. But there we go. But yeah, let's get that.
You better be
off.
going to Bond for Father's Day or something.
There we go. Right, okay, let's go through some of the questions. Have we got any more come through on the chat? I'm going to put the chat on the side of the screen again, even though half of it's
Everything
not
is
displaying.
over here is caught up with on Facebook side, as far as I can tell.
There we go. Well, it looks like Russell wants to tell everyone hi because he's said it 3 times. So hi from Russell at Lexar, or Russ from Lexar. So if none of you know who Russell is and you were at TechMax last year, he was one of the last people there at TechMax last year. You probably
He's
saw
the
him
one that
dancing around a
sang
bit.
for us.
Yeah. He did a little bit, didn't he? At
He
one
did.
point, yes,
He had a good voice too.
Yeah, so he's got a good voice. But yeah, but the Lexar brand's pretty good as well, to be honest with you. I must admit, it's definitely one of my preferred brands for memory
I like
and
it.
SSDs and stuff like that. So, right, so let's go through some of these questions, what I've got over here. And I'm going to ask the most simple one. First of all, what gets asked on every show is, do you have to be VAT registered to obviously buy stuff from Origin?
No, not at all. No, as long as you're a business and you're reselling the goods to someone. So we don't deal with end users, obviously. We're all about the channel. As long as you're a business, then yeah, you can buy from us whether you're VAT registered or not. And as we said last time, there's pros and cons to being VAT registered. Depends upon your size, of course. But yeah, you can deal with us no matter what.
That's pretty good advice there. So, also, guys, if you're not sure if you should go VAT registered or not, we do have an accountant at TechMax as well, just to let you know. So they'll be able to run you through that. So, sole trader, or you want to go limited company, or not VAT registered and VAT registered, they'll tell you the benefits, because there are benefits for everything, and obviously there's negatives as well. So, and Russell says it wasn't working when I typed first, so I apologise for free hellos. I reckon he's had too many drinks, to be honest with you.
Richard Creedy says, LOL, has Russ from Lexar been in yet?
Yeah, exactly. Anyone seen Russell? But yeah, so he's a good guy to have a chat with, especially if
really
you're
is.
attending TechMax in a couple of weeks, because it's only 2 weeks away now.
It is
Crazy.
2 weeks and 1 day
2 weeks
precisely.
tomorrow. Yeah. So wow. Okay, right. Okay, so guys, obviously, you guys who are watching, I can see there's plenty of you watching. If you do have any questions, don't lurk in the background. Feel free to ask them, and obviously they'll get answered. I've got quite a few questions here to go through anyway. So the next one I've got is, I've had a bad experience with another storage company in the past. What reassurances can you give me about your own brand products, and why haven't I heard about them before?
Yeah, I'll take that one, Phil, and a great question as well, actually. And Russell's never only had 2 cups of tea with something else, I think it's fair to say. So yeah, there's lots of brands out there in the market. SSDs and memory are the 2 most commonly purchased things. Looking at upgrading your systems. Do people change their processors that often? Probably not. Do you change your motherboard? Not probably, because it's integral to your system and difficult to switch out. So SSDs and RAM are the first thing you go to. So as a result, there's a lot of people out in the world that want to do them, and you do get a lot of pop-up brands which do come along. They try and compete for this, very, very hard marketplace to be in, very, very competitive. So people come along and obviously try and buy it as cheap as they can, and get a product out there that is competitive and they can still make money on. And that is a challenge. We have to try and find that balance between quality and cost price. And quite often, as Hitz is discovering at the minute, the stuff that we've got in stock may not be the most competitive because of when we bought it. It ebbs and flows because of markets. Supply and demand. All the manufacturers have been putting their price up for the last 4 or 5 months out there, and all of a sudden, the actual people that are making the finished solutions have realised their sales are down, so they've now started bringing their prices down, and they're all, going down a little bit, which means that some of the stock we've got isn't as competitive. But that'll swing back the other way. So as I say, about us getting that balance between quality and price. We always make sure we do favour quality. As you can imagine, having Dell as a customer for 20 odd years, we wouldn't still have them as a customer if we were shipping them product that didn't conform, caused issues, brought systems down. We don't have our own brand of server grade product, for example. We're not at that level. We're not at an enterprise level as of yet, but we do have a lot of back ourselves on our consumer grade Origin SSDs and RAM. We've got a lot of customers in the VAR space we've been dealing with for a long time. And we've obviously now got a lot of the SI customers that Hitz has brought with him alongside the guys that are watching today on the show. So yeah, I understand why you would be a little bit tentative around an unknown, as we should say. But I think it ultimately boils down to how many people in the world actually make their own SSDs. Samsung, Hynix, and Micron make all the flash, no matter whether you're buying a Samsung or a Kingston or a Kioxia. Ultimately, that NAND has got to come from the same factory, because there's only so many people in the world that can afford billions of dollars to build a fab. It's obviously choosing the right level of NAND that comes out of the factory. So we make sure we do that. We don't want to ruin what we've built up in 23 years by shipping out inferior product. Every now and again, you're going to get firmware issues. You're going to get a bug in a batch that needs to be sorted out. The difference is we'll go and we actually track the serials in and out of the business. If there's a batch identified that's got a problem, we call them back if we can do that. We've sent engineers out to replace entire schools worth of laptops, SSDs, before they fail, because we know that they will fail. We don't hide away from that fact. We go out there and fix the problem before it even becomes a problem. So
I think that's the key to it, is nipping it in the bud.
Yeah,
and owning up, holding your hands up instead of hiding under a rock.
Yeah, being
Yeah,
proactive is always good.
absolutely. You know, Samsung have had issues with products in the past. No, nothing's infallible. I think people forget how intricate these things are. We get so used to using them. I was trying to teach my teenage boys the other day that were complaining about speed and about their
Yeah.
NVMe drive, and I said, you don't really understand what has gone into this product to make it work. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
It
going to
really
say
is.
technology is constantly getting faster and faster and more complicated.
It's come a long way since I bought my first personal computer, and I'll tell you, it was a Windows 95 with a 56K modem and everything. And I thought I want to say it was, God, how big was that hard drive that was in it? It was small. Let's put it like that. It was barely big enough to hold the operating system on. I mean,
Mhm.
it was terrible. And I thought that I had the best computer in the world in my house. I was totally enamored of this computer. And now looking back on it, it was trash.
That's how it goes. I remember the first memory you put in a PC or bought. It was EDO
Yeah.
memory or
Yeah.
RAM, where I think you had to work in pairs. So
Yes, you did.
that was your original
Dual
dual
channel.
channel. You didn't have much of a choice. You had to use two
Mm.
sticks. But yeah, let's quickly go through the chat then. So Richard Creed is saying stupid Facebook is switched to YouTube. Yeah, if anyone's having lag or anything on Facebook, switch to YouTube, LinkedIn. Facebook has been a bit of a pain. They've changed all their systems and they're implementing new ones next week and then some more, I think, next month, which is causing all sorts of issues with streaming software and even going live on their systems. Gadget Joe's also saying, evening all, sorry a little late, been painting the kitchen and lost track of time. Well, that's no good, Gadget Joe. You should have us prioritized. So
You should have Siri to let you know what time Tech Talk comes on and then be right there waiting.
that's it. Exactly. You should have timer set and everything. Right. William's saying we're seeing a lot of exciting news about the Cam 2 memory. Yeah, I must admit that looks pretty good, to be honest. I've seen the Cam 2 memory information out there over the last few weeks. And yeah, be very interested. Have you guys dealt much yet regarding the Cam 2 memory? What's coming out, Stuart or Hitz?
No, quite honestly, wasn't aware that the second
Yeah.
standard had come through. I mean, CAM came out because it's a Dell developed technology. So we've run into a few issues where we upgrade a lot of laptops for customers and brand new Dell machines are coming with CAM RAM in it. Thankfully, we've managed to acquire an adapter, CAM adapter, which allows you to put two SODIMMs in instead. Because if you're trying to put in some high density RAM from Dell, it's an absolute fortune. So yeah, we've got these adapters that work. But yeah, honestly, haven't heard of Cam 2 just yet. If that's going to be a Dell proprietary technology or whether someone else has bought the rights to it and is bringing it to the market, I don't know. So I shall have a read up about that very shortly.
Yeah, definitely. I can't remember if it's one brand specific or not, but I think from what I was reading, it's going to be they're trying to aim as a standard to replace DDR. To be honest with you, but it'd be interesting to see.
Right,
It would be.
But we'll see. But if anyone's unsure what CAM memory is, it's like your standard RAM. Okay, it's been a few weeks since I read the information and looked it up, but it's a bit more like an SSD, what NVMe SSD you put on your motherboard. So the RAM's sort of more like that. It goes flat against the
Yeah,
actual motherboard.
they're
rather
integrated
than
chips
sticking
on a
out.
board. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're trying to make it as thin as they can to avoid, to make the laptop further.
Good luck getting
very
some
thinner.
RGB on that.
Trust me, they'll find a way. But there we go. Let's have a look. So, Richard Creed is saying first Windows I played with was 3.11. Yeah, I think that was probably the first one I
I
played
remember
with.
3.0.
Yeah, okay. It was free something. Free. I'm pretty sure it was 3.1 or 1.1. But yeah. So next we've got William saying our Origin planning adoption, of DDR5 CAM or Gen 4/5 NVMe's.
We've got DDR5 at server level already. That's not Origin branded, but we're bringing in the required Samsung Hynix Micron part that matches the system that the customer's got. For example, typically Samsung at the minute. We have got DDR PCIe 4 as an Origin product and as a Lexar, and I believe Lexar Russell
Lexar's doing one.
chat.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw that announced. They've got a 5 as well.
A Gen 5 coming. Yeah.
And no, we haven't got our own cam. So no.
Going over to chat, Richard Creedy says, I believe they are making it open. William at Build IT says MSI apparently are spearheading Cam 2 DDR. It's a land grid array setup and it lies flat on the board. Richard Creedy says, I was playing with Amigas before that. So
There we go.
that's a conversation for another night with Ben Ashcroft.
Yes, that's it. Right, guys, if you do have any more questions, obviously send them in. Because obviously, if you don't ask it, you don't know, and that's the only
That's
stupid
it.
question is the one you don't ask. So next up, we've got how long does it take to set up an account? I'm guessing Hitz is going to explain this, but you've got to do it, Hitz, in less than 10 words.
That's one. No, in terms of the account to be set up, it doesn't take long, to be honest with you. A lot of customers have already on the call have already set accounts up with us already, and it's literally taken around full process with the credit facilities as well already loaded. It takes around 30 minutes. It can be even done quicker than that, to be honest with you. 15 to 30 minutes, I would say, for it to get set up without any issues.
Very good.
There we go. So he could have said that in 2 words. It only took 94, but
that's fine. We've got an hour here, so it's fine.
It's all right. Me and Hitz have known each other. I don't know, a long time. He used to come to our store and try and sell up a certain brand back in the days, which I think he was slightly successful in doing.
He even dressed our store one time in that brand.
Yeah, he did. So we did. He did pretty well there. So right, let's go on to the next question then. So basically you heard that Hitz says 30 minutes or less most of the time for setting up account. Obviously, if it's probably 4 o'clock on the Sunday afternoon, you may have to wait till Monday.
Don't call them up at 5 minutes till closing.
Yeah. No one Hitz, he'd probably do it though. So let's have a look. Oh, we got the swear word on this question. So some distributors sell on Amazon or distribute for them, which concerns me because it seems like they prioritize Amazon over independents or smaller stores. How do you ensure that the items you sell aren't cheaper on Amazon and that I get basically a better customer service or a better price or better experience than if I was buying on Amazon?
Good question, actually.
Who's going for that one then?
I think it's 2 parts really. I know Hitz will come onto the channel that he's got, the focus he's got. I think from a price point of view, just to put people's minds at rest, we are a small business, as I said at the start, so we have complete control over everything we do. And the last thing we want to do is disrupt our channel. We have the same with our business, our B2B reseller market. We can't be putting prices out there that disrupt that channel. We want there to be margin involved for our customers and, for them to make a living. That's what we're here to do, right? We're not here just to give stuff away for free. Although some of these gaming products, it turns out we are. But yeah, Amazon is one of those necessary evils. We look at it more as a free marketing tool. Not every customer is going to want to list and range all the products that we do. So it's a great way of getting stuff out there, get the names, the brands out there, to hopefully drive business back to you guys where you list the product and have a more competitive price. But yeah, I think, as I say, Hitz is very passionate about the channel. If you want to cover that, Hitz.
Yeah. So in terms of the channel, I've never really liked Amazon in a way because my focus has always been, since I've been in the industry, I've always focused on 100% the B2C channel, whether it's e-tail, SI, and obviously our independent channel. So I would have put the full 110% focus in where to support our independent channel, obviously through Origin and obviously through Phil and Jenny and also TechMax. So I'd be quite happy to make sure that the customers do get the better pricing over at Amazon, because at the end of the day, anybody can just walk into a shop with their phone out and say, look, I can buy this cheaper from Amazon. what are you going to do about it? But they don't. That's that because it's like the EDI boys, and it's just about feeding prices of Amazon. But they don't know where the service levels come in. Like Phil and Jenny, in terms of chips computers, you had the service levels where you could make sure the customers come to your shop, to your store, and make sure they get the full benefit of a full shopping experience with you
Hmm.
in terms of all the advice you're giving the customers in terms of what works with what motherboard works with what graphics cards and so forth. So I think Amazon won't do that for you. Where this is why it's very key for me and the B2C channel to make sure they get the full support because it's a full unique shopping experience. What we want to give and make sure the customers gain that basically on
And
our
if there
point of
is
view.
an RMA, the independent can help you through that process.
Yeah,
And Amazon's not going to hold your hand, that's for sure. They'll tell you, uh, here's a label printed out,
yeah, yeah,
basically.
that's true.
I mean, here it is. The stores will, in some cases, RMA it for you. So
Yeah. So it's the service level. Don't get me wrong, Amazon's got its benefits, but um, you've got to remember is obviously if a customer's coming in your store, if they're going to buy off Amazon, they're going to buy off
yeah,
Amazon. You're not going to probably change the mind. If they're in that mindset, you're not. But the best way we always found in the store, obviously, as Hitz was saying, the customer service and advice
hmm,
and stuff level, but it was always selling stuff as part of a service. So
yeah,
not only would you obviously, if someone were buying let's just say an SSD off of Amazon, if a customer wanted to do that, they're not going to know how to fit it. They're not going to know how to install Windows, do all the updates, the drivers, and set everything up, or even get Windows licenses sorted, because those can be a bit of a pain sometimes. It's basically selling something as a service. It's the same, obviously, if you're selling security. You don't compare it with the price what's being sold on Amazon and so forth. You offer your extra bits. You basically set it up for the customer. Maybe give the machine a like a startup cleanup
yeah.
or something along that line. Stop all the programs running. You sell it as part of a service, and that's what we always found we worked very well for us.
And those that did decide to go on and do their own builds, we would just sit back and wait because we knew they'd be back. They would make a hiccup along the way. We knew they'd be back,
Yeah,
Mm.
and then we'd be there to clean up on aisle 4.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I think that's an important point, isn't it? We had an incident this week where someone's bought a piece of memory on Amazon and they just want to refund for it because it doesn't work. They're going to go and order the same spec of memory again. That's not going to work because it's the wrong spec of RAM for the system they've got. But Amazon
Yeah,
won't tell them that. They're just going to go around in circles
yeah,
forevermore. I'd say 90% of our returns we get are for a compatibility issue. It's not a faulty product.
yeah.
It's just been badly spec'd. Either the customer's given us the wrong info, one of our sales guys got it wrong, possibly. It's never really a faulty product as such. It's just not the right one.
That's it. I'm going to say we used to get a lot of customers coming in our store asking for the components so they could build a machine themselves.
Yeah.
It's something we didn't actually allow. We didn't actually let customers buy because we knew that they were going to mess it up in the installation, setting it up, and then they'll be bringing it back, and it'll cost us messing about with returns. And then obviously, if we try and return a motherboard what's got loads of broken pins on it, then it's obviously we're not going to
That
get
was
the
always the
refund.
scary
And
part
so,
for me
yeah.
was the motherboard and the processor, because of the pins and
Mhm.
everything. And I just really did not like the thought of selling systems.
Right. Let's get back on to the main thing then. So, first of all, Russell's saying Lexar Gen 5 SSDs will be available this month and is 12 gigabits a second with assisted fan cooling and RGB. Russell, tell us, does RGB make it go faster? Is it like go faster
Sure,
stripes?
it does.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
so obviously, Russell, if you would like one of those reviewing like you have in the past with your SSDs and putting them on the spot now, feel free to send one over. You know where we are.
Speak to me. That's Jenny at
Exactly.
techfortext.co.uk.
So we'll definitely give that a run for its money. That's for sure. And also, Matt's saying Amazon does not compare to the service of a person.
That's
Yeah,
true.
exactly.
That is so true.
Definitely brilliant there answer. Right, okay, next question. Let's have a look. We've got, do you have a delivery cutoff time and do you offer weekend delivery options?
Yep, absolutely. So we cut off at 5 p.m. So guaranteed orders, anything placed up till 5 p.m. guaranteed next day if it's in stock. And we can offer deliveries on Saturday. I believe Saturday mornings is all the DPD
Pre-12
drivers will work.
or
Yeah,
pre-10.
pre-12 or pre-10 on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Nothing on a Sunday. They're recharging their vehicles, I believe. But yeah.
That sounds pretty good. Well,
Yeah,
that pretty much covers it then. So I think that's as quick as you can with a question like that. Do we have any more through the Facebook questions?
everybody has bailed out of Facebook and gone to YouTube. It
Yeah,
looks
it's
like I've been
Facebook.
watching over here, but yeah,
There we
I
go.
don't blame them actually.
Oh, okay. This is an interesting one, and I must admit I've had issues like this before. If I had a DOA, that's dead on arrival for anyone who doesn't know, items such as a graphics card, let's say, would you send me a replacement before I return the faulty one because I'll be needing that new, obviously, item the next day?
Yeah, so I'll take this one, Phil. Yeah, I've had the instant where there was a DOA graphics card for one of my SI customers. He called me up and he goes, "Hitz, this is faulty. It's not working." I said, "Right, I'll send him another one the same day. Picked that one up. As soon as he got that, tested it, it worked. Then we picked the other one up the day after. So we can send advanced replacements out on graphics cards because we've got that connection with Inno3D as well. By the way, they give also a 3-year warranty on their cards as well. So yeah, we can give you the an advanced replacement on cards, and also on our Origin RAM and SSD. I've been doing that as well with certain customers, and we can introduce that as well as advanced replacement. So graphics cards and RAM and our own Origin storage RAM and SSDs, I can offer you advanced replacements moving forward as well. If
I
it's
have
not
a
in
question.
stock, if it's not in stock in terms of the graphics card, say I've sold 5 units and they're all out of stock, I will offer a full credit on that card. Or if the customer wants to wait for my next shipment, as soon as my next shipment comes through, I can give them that card. So it's up to the customer how they want to do it. I can either provide a credit or I can provide an advance replacement, providing I've got the stock in our warehouse. But it's easy for us to do that without any issues.
Fair enough.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Also, Russell says, of course, RGB adds 20% more speed minimum.
I have a question. You were talking about warranties and things. Do you have a standardized warranty on Origin products like your SSDs? What's the warranty on those?
Yeah, we have. There's differing levels on different products because there's quite a range of Origin branded products. But on the consumer SSDs that you're looking at there, we've got a 3-year warranty on the NVMe products. Memory is lifetime,
Right.
although we have to say, I think is it 20 years? We have to say because of European law,
Yeah,
not allowed
yeah,
to
yeah.
say lifetime, but it is effectively. I mean, you're not going to replace a bit of RAM that dies in 18 years' time, are you? You're going to have bought a new system long before that, I think.
True.
It's fair to say. But yeah, every product we do carries at least a couple of years, and then it goes up from there, basically.
Okay,
Cool.
sounds
That's
pretty
cool.
good. That ties in with the next question I got was, what is the turnaround time for warranty refunds or replacements?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty much you've covered that already mostly, but if you want to add on to that.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as it's in stock and it's not too late in the day, we'll get that replacement out. Depends on the product. If there's any sort of, we have our own in-house tech team, so they will first of all speak to the customer that's got the product that's not working, just to establish, is it actually faulty or is it a compatibility issue? We don't want to ship out the exact same product thinking it's faulty and it's not. It's the wrong RAM
Yeah.
speed. It's an NVMe and it should be a SATA. Simple things like that. But as long as those things are all ticked off and there's enough time, I'll go out that night and with that customer next day via DPD with a 1-hour time slot. So yeah, it couldn't be any quicker. I think the only caveat to that is, as I mentioned on the previous call we had a couple of weeks back, we've now instigated a policy with end users where if they send back 3 products that they say are faulty and they're tested not to be, then they're blacklisted from that advanced replacement service to avoid that happening. Because it's starting to happen a little bit more, but in the main, most people know what they're doing, and products are faulty, they're faulty. But some people do try it on with SSDs they've used quite a bit, and then want to send back to get a new one. It's fair to say.
That sounds
Okay.
pretty good. I think that pretty much answers that. Before we go any further, guys, if you want to check out Origin's website, QR code's on the screen. You've also got the email address on there, which is gaming@originstorage.com. And obviously the web address is on there, which is originstorage.com as well. So if you do want to visit their website, do. Obviously, as I said, set up an account, won't cost you anything. So even if you don't need anything now, at least if you've got an account set up and when you do need something, you can log straight in and check.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I've been on there. I must admit the website is quite user-friendly compared to
Very
some
clean looking.
distributor websites I've come across. Let's put it that way. It's quite, clean, as Jen was saying. Not a lot of rubbish all over the place and adverts every 5 seconds for different bits and bobs. So
I hate that.
definitely. We do have a question from Dean Wood, if you want to read that one out for us, Jen.
Yeah. What are your official documented failure rates on the Origin SSDs and NVMEs?
So the standard rate is about 0.4%. And that does go down from there. We've got, so it depends on the particular type of product. So 256 NVMe, funnily enough, the other day we asked for a rather large quantity, and the actual failure rate in the last 12 months was less than 0.5%. It was a figure I couldn't quote the customer because it sounded made up, but yeah, we shipped that many, hundreds of thousands, and hardly had any fail whatsoever. So it's tiny. NVMe is designed to be generic, and therefore, it very rarely fails. So yeah, very, very good.
Okay, well, that's a brilliant answer, that one, because I'm guessing if we'd asked most other distributors that, they probably wouldn't know those numbers.
Yeah.
And some of them are probably hiding those numbers as well, probably. But you're absolutely honest with what it is. Obviously, nothing's perfect, but again, I suppose it depends on the model. Some things can be better than others. So yeah, definitely good.
I think a lot of the time also. So I was going to say a lot of the time it depends on how it's installed as well, right? We said earlier it's a very technologically advanced piece of kit, and if you get it wet, you touch the carpet with the circuit board, you're going to damage it when you install it, and it might fail a week later. So yeah, it's you've got to account for that as well.
Yeah, exactly. And how many people actually use anti-static mats and wrist things and stuff? Really, if we're all honest, how many people out there actually use them? I'm guessing there'll be a very slim number of techs who do use the precautions there. So there's always a chance there as well, damaging them.
And William at Build It says, and that Disties is proof that if you think outside the box, great things can be done. Advanced replacements and quick credits refunds is a massive value add for the smaller retailers.
There you go. So you can't get much better praise than that from William. He's basically saying something for the other distributors, especially some of the bigger guys.
Yeah,
have got something to learn.
You've basically set a benchmark for them.
Yeah.
William's already got an account with us anyway, so that's already been sorted.
Russell at Lexar says advanced replacements are available from Lexar through Origin as well.
There we go. So yeah, Russell, when you send us that SSD over, I'll have the 100 terabyte version, okay, for testing. But there we go. I'm putting him on the spot. But there we go. Right, okay, so let's
I only require a 16 terabyte.
Exactly. He's going to be on the phone with me tomorrow saying you've put me on the spot now.
Rich Creedy says you don't need them, as prove by Linus and Electroboom.
That's it. It's one of those things, anti-static wrist rasts and stuff. Yeah, I must admit, some places say that you don't, some places you do. It's one of those urban myths, you do or don't or whatever, but it's always best to be prepared.
I remember a time when they were more needed. Let's say that.
What's your view on that one, Stuart? Anti-static wrist wraps and pads, are they needed or not? Is it a myth?
I did have to sit through an exceptionally long, boring conversation by someone that used to work for us that knew far too much about electrostatic problems. So we always make sure all of our integration benches are covered in it, the floor's covered in it. The guys, in fact, they've got floor and matting, so they haven't got to wear straps and boots. I think because we're getting a problem, something's only as good as if people actually adhere to it. So, but forgetting to put a wrist strap on, is going to cause problems. Does it work? Does it not? I don't know. it's easy just to put something in place that stops it happening at all, and then you've taken the guesswork out of it. That's what we do.
Yeah, it's always best to be prepared than anything. And no offense against, obviously, the likes of, obviously, Linus Tech Tips and Electro Boom and stuff. They're not dealing with millions and millions of SSDs and sticks of memory. They get 10, 20 of them and test them and chuck them around the room and see if they break. They're not always as scientifically covered, shall we say.
True.
It's don't get me wrong, a lot of the stuff they do is pretty good, but I'd always take anything, what any YouTubers put, and that includes ourselves, basically with a pinch of salt, because it's best to get a wider
I would think as long
view.
as you ground yourself properly, maybe touch something before you touch the memory, like a screwdriver, to let the electric charge get out of you. That's what I was always told when I worked for a high-end company that I shall not name. To touch the PC chassis, ground yourself before you touch anything internal, and then if something's going to get shocked, it's going to be you.
Yeah. As Richard's saying, it's prevention is better than cure. Yeah, being proactive about it, definitely. So yeah, so that sounds pretty good. Let's have a look. The next question I've got. And again, chat, if you guys do have any questions, we've only got 5 minutes left, so send them in now. We need to let Hitz go and have some family time, and Stuart as well. So not everyone's like me and Jen and stay up till midnight working, but here we go.
I want to go play with Bond.
Yeah. And if anyone doesn't know who Bond is, that's our pet Labrador. He's only 6 months old. So just in case everyone's wondering what Bond is.
He liked Hitz when Hitz came to visit.
Yes, I was forgetting that Hitz met him a few months ago. So, yeah. So, right, last question I've got here is, what are the minimum order requirements? So, can I order just, let's say, 1 stick of 8 gig DDR4 memory without a problem, or do I need to spend 200 quid for an order, or what?
Yeah.
You could buy 1 stick of RAM, and then 2 weeks later you'll come back for more. So yeah, 1 is fine, and then you come back to me for two, 3 more next week or week after. So yeah, there's no minimum order requirement, to be honest with you. I mean, you can order 1 stick of RAM, you can order 1 graphics card, 1 docking station, laptop charger, case, anything. There is no minimum order requirements from us.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. I think that pretty much covers that. I do actually have one more question, which was on the other page here. Is, do you offer any sort of training or resources for retailers to better understand and sell your products? I'm guessing they're talking about POI and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned earlier, Phil, Hitz has been in and dressed your shop when you guys had it. He's got a lot of experience in that. The brands that we've got on board are more than happy to provide materials to help the shops and retailers out and come and put some material in there. As you'll see at the show in a couple of weeks' time, we've got not pretend graphics cards, but non-functional graphics cards and the packaging to showcase what the actual real products look like to customers so they can touch and feel. Again, we've got Inno as a brand, and they're not that well known in the UK, which we're changing very quickly. But people can get to see them and touch them and feel them. It's a lot easier to understand who they are and what they do, for sure. And then, I think from a product point of view, training, as I said earlier, we've got in-house technical teams. We've got sales guys that can jump on calls with customers. If there's any, I would say, specific customers that want to know about certain products, then come and ask us, and we can put on a session with them, explain if it is the difference between SATA and NVMe. If people have got customers coming into the shops asking questions and no one's 100% sure on how to answer them and what the real differences are, then by all means, fire them through to gaming. If they're nice and quick and simple, we can email it back. If it's more involved, we can jump on a call and answer whatever questions they've got. And if needs be, Hitz can come and visit and show you his wares and answer your questions.
Well, I don't know if you want to see Hitz's wares. That's a loaded question. But yeah.
Matt Henderson wants to know, can stock be listed online to end customers?
Matt knows that answer because he works for me.
He's trying to trick the boss man.
It is, yeah, absolutely. Again, it depends on
What's going on with the camera, Phil?
Yeah, I'll
Oh.
so
gone sideways. Again, that depends on the customer's own systems. Yeah, we can provide stock feeds, whether that's EDI into our systems if you've got the capabilities, whether that's just a simple Excel sheet over FTP. We can certainly send that data out, not a problem at all. And we can work with customers depending upon their systems to integrate it into their end, not a problem at all.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. One tip, everyone: if you're going to nick a graphics cards from TechMax, don't nick one from these guys because they're dummy product. Okay, so
there will be somebody to try it on. You just know.
There's always someone, but yeah. So obviously they're not going to put a 4090 on there and let 1,000 people chuck it around the room, are they?
We spoke to another distributor earlier this week. And I won't name them, but they were down a cheaper monitor when they left TechMax. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, it was a budget one.
Yeah, and I can't imagine first how someone left TechMax unscathed with a monitor in hand, and second of all, what provoked them for this budget monitor.
What gets me actually thinking about it is how the distributor didn't actually notice someone picking the monitor up off the table. But those top three questions just boggle the mind. Exactly. Right.
Anything can happen at TechMax.
There we go. So Dean Wood saying, great point of sales material, whatever next, well done. So it looks like you've sold it to Dean Wood anyway. So I think you already said he's a customer anyway. But I must admit, a lot of these things are what we ask a lot of the vendors. The distributors, and they usually come up with some sort of excuses why they haven't got that and why they can't do advanced returns and so forth. So it's good to hear a brand saying,
we can,
or a company saying yes for a change. I'm pretty sure if you keep this up, you'll be going a long way. I'm going to say
they have what I call the can-do attitude.
Yeah. I'm going to ask a question now because I've been seeing all the new brands coming in. Are there any other new brands coming in anytime soon?
So we will be launching in July with Seasonic, our good friend Ray.
Yep.
I've dealt with Seasonic in the past. I've done well with Seasonic, and now it's we will launch with them in July, which is all confirmed. There's a couple of new models coming out from Seasonic, and I'm really looking forward to working with Seasonic again after a break what we've had. And yeah, we will launch with Sonic in July. There's another brand again we will be launching with, which is a cooling brand, which is called Valkyrie, which one of the directors I've known from previous employment as well, and he used to work for EK Water Blocks. Everybody in the channel knows who EK Water Blocks are. They're huge in terms of the water cooling side, but they've released all-in-one cooling solutions. And watch this space. We've already ordered the stock, and I've sent some samples out already. Phil and Jenny, you will be getting a sample on one of the coolers there to review via Tech for Techs, and get that reviewed for me. But yeah, we will be launching with Valkyrie as well.
Okay, right. That sounds
good. I look forward to it.
I must admit, I'm going to say we've been working obviously with Hitz for many years, but since he joined Origin, how long have you been there now? About 9 months, is it, or has it been a year already?
Yeah, I started in end of September last year, so it's around 9 months. Yeah.
So, and I must admit, Hitz has always been very proactive with independence and stuff. So, in the past, as I said, when he worked for Gigabyte, and you've worked for another distributor in the past, and you were always very proactive. And even now, he's always wanting to send us products to review them, to get basically our opinion on them, as well as spread the information.
He's very passionate about his job. No matter who he works for, he always has a good pride in his work, and has passion about what he does, and he's got a lot of drive in him. Yeah.
Definitely. So I don't want to give you a big head or anything here, Hitz. I know you've got one already, but I'm not going to
Say,
make it bigger for you.
just
I will
You
say,
just,
right,
you
independent,
just ruined it. You just ruined it,
independence,
Phil.
independence out there. If you need someone, if you're wanting to get up with Origin and everything and sign on with them, and you need someone to come around and just help you out in your store, his is the person to do it. He's been out there for a long time. He knows exactly what your customers will need, and he can help you out. So
Yeah. And if he doesn't know, he definitely knows someone who does know.
that's it. That's
And
it.
I must admit, good news that you're getting Seasonic on board.
Yeah, yeah,
If people haven't used Seasonic products before, generally most of your power supplies, the top end ones, which all these manufacturers make, they don't actually make them. They're Seasonic parts, basically, which are being rebranded. So
Yeah.
not all of them, but
Not all
a
of them.
good chunk of them. So
Yeah.
a lot of the platinums and titaniums and even golds, they're generally they're basically badged and probably put a slightly different fan on it or something. But the insides are definitely, more than likely going to be a Seasonic. So and I've heard about the cooling company. I've seen them around, so it'd be interesting to see their bits and bobs as well. So in person. So and I'm guessing all this stuff's going to be available to see at TechMax as well, is it, Hitz?
yeah. It will be. We will be basically. Seasonic will be there. Ray, he's got his own stand there, I believe. Ray has. From Seasonic, he's got his own stand. Is that correct, Jenny and Phil?
Yes, he
Yes.
does. Ray
Yeah.
at Sonic's
So
got
he'll
his
be there.
stand there.
Yes.
So we'll be. I think he's in a slightly
So
different area than you because obviously we didn't know about the
yeah.
Yeah.
collaboration when it was booked in. But yeah, he will be there.
Yep. I'm looking
So
forward to
he
seeing
will be.
everybody at
Yeah.
TechMax. I really am. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys for your first go at TechMax, and I hope you have a really good time. I know I am going to, and I can't wait to see everybody. Even the people that don't have stands, the people that are just visiting.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a great catch up. It's going to be a great party.
That's it, definitely. I'm going to say Origin's got a good. I can't remember how many tables it was off the top of my head, but it
I
was quite
want to say
a good
six,
section. Good section was it? 5 or 6 was it? I can't remember now off the top of my
maybe
head.
even
6. Maybe
Yeah.
more.
So it was a good section 6.
yeah. I want to
sounds
say
about
at
right.
least 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Definitely check out their stuff at the event. Let's quickly go through chat before we call it a night. So if you want to read out Russell's message.
Oh yeah, Russell says I'll have the first Gen 5 SSD arriving just days before TechMax. We will offer 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, and 4 terabyte. Becomes available in July, with 8 terabyte planned for later in 2024. Tech for Techs will have one to review soon, which is good. And Gadget Joe says, does that mean that Origin are organizing hits on people? Sorry, I'll see myself out now.
Yeah, go away, Gadget
Bad
Joe.
joke.
Yeah, exactly. So to reply to Russell, I'll have 10 of the 8 terabyte ones. We'll make a nice, decent server.
I'll be nice and take the 4 terabyte.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, definitely. I think you might have some more questions on Facebook
Do
or some
we?
statements, but if you just want to go through them.
Oh, Inverness Computers has just come through. Ask Hitz who won the league.
Tell Inverness, I'll give him a call. Don't worry about who won the league. Tell Inverness, I'll give him a call.
Okay, I'm not sure I follow that.
With English Football League and say, Hitz isn't a Man City fan, I don't think.
No, I'm
I
not.
remember actually a story about Hitz. Went to an award ceremony many years ago. I think it was a PCR one or something. Everyone's going up on stage winning
you
awards.
told me about this, yeah.
And he's sitting there with his phone watching the Man United match. I think it was.
Oh yeah, that was the Champions League. I think it was the Champions League quarter-final versus PSG, and Rashford scored the winner, and we won the game. And I think the whole table of ours were United fans with some customers, and we literally just jumped up in the air while the awards was going on, and everybody turned around, what's going on?
I
So
was,
Phil
yeah,
came
that
home
was kind
telling
of
me
fun.
about this.
yeah. I was the
That was
only
kind of fun.
non-United fan on the actual table, so it was an interesting one. I don't know. Have we got any more questions before we call it a night?
Let's see. No, we've caught up. We have caught up.
Yeah, that's it. So, right, guys, if we have missed your questions, it's probably due to Facebook or something along that lines. But before we call it a night, Stuart, Hitz, is there anything you would like to add on to the end of the show? So,
Yeah.
Stuart, last chance to sell yourself.
Just looking forward to seeing you all at Tech Max, our first one, obviously. And as a special introductory treat, we are giving away a gaming PC on the day. So I believe it's an i7 with a 4070 Super Hitz. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's an i7 with the 4070 Super already installed and ready to go.
Brilliant. And also thanks to Lexar
worth,
as well.
it's worth going to Tech Max just for that.
Yeah, so that's going to be pretty much a couple of grand PC at that sort of price, so retail
Absolutely.
price.
And thanks to Russell at Lexar for donating the RAM and SSD that's inside it, and to Thermaltake, it's their case cooling and power supply inside as
and
well.
don't forget Inno3D as well for the 4070 Super. They donated for that as well.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So thank you for that.
Yeah, great.
All good brands. What we've reviewed recently. We've
they are.
still got, I think, one more Thermaltake one to release. Lexar, we've been working with for years.
Absolutely.
3D, I think it was the 4070 Super or 60 Super. I can't remember now. A couple of months.
It was 4070 Super you did, yeah.
It was, yeah. So
definitely,
and obviously we've reviewed Origin's SSDs and RAM as well, and Urban Factory you work with as well, don't you? For the bags, I think we looked at. Yes, it was the.
Those are really nice looking bags.
The one made out of recycled plastic bottles or something like that.
Yeah.
It?
Yeah.
I think that's really nice. Helping the environment, and they look good. You'd have never known just by looking at them that they were made from something like that. They're very sturdy, nice quality. I would definitely carry one.
That's it, definitely. Right. I think that pretty much covers it. Let me just get Gadget Joe. It says he's looking forward to seeing everybody getting to grips with what's about and giving people a chance to put their products out there in video form too, if they want to, of course. Oh yeah, if you don't know, Gadget Joe's an influencer, so obviously he'll be covering the event. So if you want, obviously, him to show off some of your products online or anything like that, take pictures at the events of you. Obviously, he'll be there as well, along with quite a few other different ones.
We've got quite a few, quite a few.
Yeah, just quite a few influencers coming, which is a good thing. More publicity, the better.
Yeah.
Right. Anything else you guys want to add on? Hitz, anything you want to add on to the end?
Fine, thank you.
No,
That's
okay.
fine, thank you.
So, right, we've gotten a little bit over, so past the bedtime for these guys. If you do want to check out Origin Storage out, their website is there on the screen, which is originstorage.com. Email address gaming@originstorage.com, and there's a QR code there as well. Even though it's called Origin Storage, they don't just do storage; they do a lot of other things as well. So just make sure you check it out.
They need storage for everything they have.
That's one way of putting it.
That's very true now, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of warehouse space, I'm guessing, with all this gaming stuff and cases and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Learning that very fast.
A lot of room. So obviously, guys, get yourself an account set up. Hitz said it, 30 minutes. He's going to stay up till midnight tonight and get all your account. No, tomorrow. He'll get all your stuff, and he says within 30 minutes he'll get you set up. And it's worth just getting an account set up, even if you don't need to use it straight away.
Absolutely.
Because you've got a backup there if your main supplier lets you down or you need something specific you can't get elsewhere, and it's worth giving them a go.
Yeah.
I would definitely give them a go because, well, everything they're saying, they'll support the products, they'll give you advanced returns on DOA products as well as point of sales material, and they'll even do shop visits, help you out and stuff like that if needed. So yeah, definitely check them out. And if you guys do need more information about them, and if you haven't got the information, just get in contact with me. You pretty much know where I am these days, so just get in contact and I'll pass your details on. Right, that's enough of me waffling, so we'll leave it there. So thank you very much. We do have a show next week, everyone. at the same time, 8 p.m. on Thursday. And what is the show, Jen? Do you remember?
We are going to TechMax.
That's it. That's the name of it. It's We Are Going to TechMax. So we're going to be talking all about TechMax again. Obviously, it's the week before the event. I'll try and do a few little bit of live bits the day before the event when we're
We
setting
can't
up.
promise that, though.
But obviously, it depends on internet signals and so forth in the venue while everything's getting set up. So,
And it also depends on how many people are saying, "Hey, Phil. Hey, Jenny."
yeah, where's the power cable? Can I have a cup of coffee? There we go. Right, let's leave it there anyway. Right, again, thank you everyone. Stuart and Hitz, if you just stay on after the ending sequence, we'll have a chat. Otherwise, everyone else,